Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Jesus,
amounted to 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikule Amosu.
It's the first day of the month of July. Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squatter, and here are the news making the headlines. Senate amends Firearms Act. Illegal arms importer risks 1 million naira fine. Zuma Foundation condemns angry court for jail term. China won't be bullied, says Z on the 100th anniversary. Federal government has ordered payment of outstanding arrears, says the PENCOM. And on sports, Sancho set for Manchester United as Red Devils agree fee with Dortmund. Stay with us as the details of this news comes after the short break. Welcome back, and now the news in details. NBA faults plan to Land Use Act review, and SAN say move is suspicious. The Nigerian Bar Association and some senior advocates of Nigeria and the Oyo State Governor, Mr. Seyi Makinde, have cautioned President Muhammadu Buhari against the move to amend the Land Use Act, while the NBA and the senior lawyers, including Ifedayo Adedipe, Yusuf Ali and Tayo Oyetibo, said that the federal government's move was unconstitutional. Makinde stated that he would not support it. And the secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has said the federal government was reviewing the Land Use Act of 1978. And Mustafa, who was represented by a permanent secretary in the office of the SGF at the 51st Annual Conference of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers in Abuja, said the review would take out sections of the act that inhibited economic development. He says, but Makinde said the Land Use Act of 1978 divested the control of land in each state in the governor, and he does not envisage anyone to take any step that will be contrary to it. And however, a Boeing government has said it would oppose the federal government's move to review the Land Use Act if other states in the country faulted it. And senior lawyers in separate interviews have also warned the president and the federal government, saying they could not single-handedly review the Land Use Act. Now moving forward in another development, Senate amends Firearms Act, and illegal arm importer risks 1 million naira fine. The Senate on Wednesday passed the Firearms Act of 2004 Amendment Bill in 2021, and the Red Chamber increased the fine for illegal importation of and sales of firearms to 1 million naira from 1,000 naira, which was the initial fine in the intact act. And the Senate passed the bill after it considered the report in its Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters. Section 35 of the bill was also amended to increase the fine to 3 million naira on 3-year imprisonment or both for anyone who fails to surrender illegal arms to relevant authorities during the proclamation of such. And the chairman of the committee, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, said that the 1,000 naira fine contained in the Extant Act was not punitive enough to deter illegal importation and sales of firearms in Nigeria. And the bill also amended subclauses section 4 and subsection 5 of clause 39 to allow firearms that are not of military serviceable grades but are serviceable to be deployed for use by civilians, joint task force, and other registered vigilantes under the approval of supervision of the Office of the National Security Advisor. The senator said the bill became imperative in view of the proliferation of firearms and coupled with the security challenges facing the country. And also moving forward again, the FRSC to auction unclaimed vehicles in Akwa Ibom. The Federal Road Safety Corps Akwa Ibom Command yesterday said that it will auction all unclaimed vehicles in its custody. And in a statement issued by Mr. Paul James, the command's public enlightenment and public relations officer, said that all vehicles impounded within the last 6 months and unclaimed will soon be auctioned. James said the Corps reserved the right to invoke relevant sections of the law to auction any impounded vehicle not claimed after 6 months. And he said that tariffs offenders offered with offences sheets and their documents confiscated and vehicles impounded should claim their vehicles or it will be auctioned. Mr. Paul said that the FRSC was a statutory agency responsible for traffic management, preventing and minimizing road traffic crashes on the highways. He urged the general public to adhere to all traffic rules and regulations aimed at ensuring a safe motoring environment and ease of doing business in the state and the nation in general. And now moving out of Nigeria, coming from around Africa, Burkina Faso president takes over defense ministry. Burkina Faso's president, Roch-Marc Christian Kabore, has taken over as the country's defense minister in a cabinet reshuffle announced yesterday. And the president will be assisted in the role by Colonel Major Barthélemy Simpore, according to a presidential decree. It comes 3 days after President Kabore has asked the opposition to postpone its protest scheduled for July 3rd and 4th. An opposition leader said that the protests are meant to pay tribute to victims of terrorism and to also denounce the government's handling of jihadist violence in the country. And they had called for the resignation of Prime Minister Christophe Dabire and Defense Minister Sherif C. Suspected jihadists staged an attack in Solhan in northeast of the region on the 4th of June, in which more than 130 people were killed. It is considered to be the deadliest attack in Burkina Faso since April 2015. Now, more updates in South Africa. Zuma Foundation condemns angry court for jail term. A majority decision by South Africa's highest court to sentence Jacob Zuma to 15 months in jail was judicially emotional and angry and not consistent with the constitution, the former president's foundation said. And the Constitutional Court on Tuesday found Mr. Zuma guilty of contempt for defying its order to appear at an inquiry into corruption while he was president. And it gave him 5 days to hand himself into the police. In the late night statements yesterday, the Jacob Zuma Foundation said that Mr. Zuma's lawyer would soon provide legal advice on the options available. The former president testified only once at the inquiry into what he has become known as state capture, but then refused to appear subsequently. And the inquiry, headed by Justice Raymond Zondo, asked the Constitutional Court to intervene. And the foundation said that the patron had expressed his doubts about the lawfulness of the Zombo Commission and the biased manner in which it is being conducted. He stated that it has been transformed into a slaughterhouse and a forum in which all kinds of insustainable and defamatory allegations have been made against him. I'll go on a short break right now. When we come back, we get news updates from China.
Hello, have you been searching for an appropriate platform to advertise and promote your product and services? Are you a minister of the gospel and you want your message to spread across the globe? Stop this search. We've got the coverage to give your voice and ministry the amplification you require. To get a rewarding and cost-effective solution to that business idea of yours, Celebration TV is here to take your dream to the climax. We provide the following services: voiceover production, documentary packages, video production of your event, video editing, script writing, affordable live broadcast of your events, and more. For more information, please contact us on +234 703 341 3637 or +234 816 234 8181. You can also reach us via our social media platform: Facebook Celebration TV, Instagram My Celebration TV, Twitter us at My Celebration TV, YouTube Celebration TV. And you can send us a mail on celebrationtelevision@gmail.com.
Welcome back. Now, news updates from China. China won't be bullied, says Xi on a 100th anniversary. China's President Xi Jinping has warned that foreign powers will get their heads bashed if they attempt to bully or influence the country. And he delivered a defiant speech at an event marking the centenary of the ruling Communist Party today. Mr. Xi also said that Beijing would not allow sanctimonious preaching in remarks widely seen as directed at the U.S. And it comes as China faces criticism over alleged human rights abuses and its crackdown in Hong Kong. Relations between the U.S. and China have worsened in recent times over trade, espionage, and the pandemic. And the issue of Taiwan is also a major source of tension. While democratic Taiwan sees itself as a sovereign state, Beijing views the island as a breakaway province. The United States of America, under its own laws, is required to provide Taiwan with the means to defend itself should Beijing use force to take the island back. Mr. Z said China maintains an unshakable commitment to unification with Taiwan. And the 100th anniversary celebrations today saw military jets fly past, cannon salutes, and patriotic songs played. A carefully vetted crowd were in attendance in Beijing's Tiananmen Square, many of whom were not wearing masks. And the country has seen a media blitz in recent weeks promoting a past approved version of China's history. And now moving forward, Bill Cosby freed after top courts overturned sexual assault conviction. U.S. comedian Bill Cosby has left prison hours after his sexual assault conviction was overturned by Pennsylvania's Supreme Court. The judges said there has been a process violation by the prosecution but admitted their ruling was unusual. Mr. Cosby, aged 83, served more than 2 years of a 3 to 10-year sentence at a state prison near Philadelphia. In 2018, he was found guilty of drugging and molesting ex-basketball player Andrea Constant. Mr. Cosby is best known for starring in the 1980s TV series The Cosby Show and was once known as America's Dad. Dozens of women have publicly accused Mr. Cosby of sexual assault, but he was only tried criminally for the incidents against Miss Constant, and his conviction in 2018 was widely seen as a landmark moment in the Me Too hashtag moment. In a verdict issued yesterday, Pennsylvania's highest court found there was a process violation because Mr. Cosby's lawyer had made an agreement with the previous state prosecutor that he would not be charged in the case. And the former actor appeared frail as he slowly walked to waiting media outside his home shortly after being released from prison. Off camera, fans of Mr. Cosby could be heard yelling their support throughout the media conference. And moving forward now to business news, federal government has ordered payment of outstanding arrears, says the PENCOM. The National Pension Commission has said the federal government has given an order to clear the outstanding pensions of retirees under the contributory pension scheme, and PENCOM informed all its stakeholders, particularly retirees of Treasury-funded federal ministries, departments, and agencies, that President Muhammadu Buhari has approved its submission on the payment of some critical aspects of the outstanding pension liabilities of the federal government under the contributory pension scheme. And PENCOM noted that subsequently the federal government was expected to continue with the payment of the 10% rate of employer pension contribution for its employees, ensuring a remittance of at least 18% monthly as provided by the PRA in 2014. And it stated that funds had already been made available for the settlement of the above stated pension liabilities. And PENCOM stated that the affected retirees and employees would be notified in due course by their respective pension fund administrators. And also moving forward, still on business news, U.S. stock market gains $6 trillion as Facebook and Apple climbs. Some of the world's largest technology companies led by the United States of America's stock market to a fresh record this week, extending a rally that has already added $6 trillion in value to the equity market this year. And Bloomberg reported that after swinging between gains and losses throughout most of the season, the U.S. S&P 500 moved higher on news that Facebook Incorporated won dismissal of 2 monopoly lawsuits. Some of the stay-at-home companies like Apple Incorporated, Amazon.com Incorporated, and Zoom Video Communication Incorporated climbed as the reflation trade waned. And cruise operations and airlines reportedly sank as governments from Europe to Asia imposed new limits on travel from Britain, which is seeing a spike in coronavirus cases. And with U.S. stocks on track for one of their best first halves in history, The debate over elevated valuations is coming back to the forefront, and the S&P 500 is trading over the average of the past decades, and this quarter potentially marking the peak of a profit recovery from the depths of the pandemic. And Bloomberg also stated that demand for protection against losses in the coming months has risen in the U.S. option market. It said traders will sift through readings on the consumer confidence, housing, manufacturing, and labor markets over the course of the week, with Friday's job report forecast to show an acceleration in the payroll growth. We'll take another break right now. When we come back, we get news from the world of sports. Stay with us.
Ignites the flame for unbridled unction, sets the pace for uncommon impact. Get ready for a moment of change to protect your identity in International Youth Conference 2021. Theme: purpose, passion, and power. Ministry: Pastor Courage Imolere.
Powers that has vowed that you will always beg before you seek favor. Powers that has vowed that you will always beg before you seek lifting. After now, that yoke shall be broken.
Reverend John Azia.
The enemy takes advantage of our unbridled tongue. You are talking, be careful. You know, we look for trouble by ourselves, by too many information that we release out of our mouth.
Apostle Professor Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman.
A battle of service. Our youths, these days, this generation, God will help us. Who will feel your impact? Who will feel your impact if you even choose to leave this place now? The battle of service is a battle that is confronting the youth today.
Nothing severs you from entanglement like addiction to God's word. Your addiction to God's word is your severance and your cure.
Date 6th through 9th July 2021, happening at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Kilometer 132, Benin, Okene, Abuja Expressway, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. The time is 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. GMT+1. For inquiries, please call. It's time to break bounds.
Welcome back. Now on sports news, Sancho set for Manchester United as Red Devils agree fee with Dortmund. Jadon Sancho is poised to complete a long-mooted move to Manchester United after the Premier League giants agreed a fee with Borussia Dortmund for the England winger. And stats perform on the stance United will pay the Bundesliga club £72.9 million for Sancho, with no add-ons included with the deal. And it will make the 21-year-old the fourth most expensive signing in United history, behind Paul Pogba, Harry Maguire and Romelu Lukaku. Sancho is currently on duty with England at Euro 2020, a factor that is likely to delay the transfer being finalized. But United's manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will hope to have the former Manchester City young team player among his attacking options for his team's opening Premier League game against Leeds United at Old Trafford on August 14. And since joining Dortmund in 2017, Sancho has scored 50 goals and provided 57 assists in 137 appearances across all competitions. And he boasts a healthy shots conversion rate of 23.7% and has created 217 chances for open play, with further 65 for dead ball situations. And despite this, he has been restricted to a solitary 6 minutes substitute appearance by England boss Gareth Southgate at Euro 2020, ahead of Saturday's quarterfinals against Ukraine in Rome. United finished second in the Premier League last season, but a penalty shootout defeat to Villarreal means they remain without a major honor during Solskjaer's reign, something he would hope Sancho's arrival can help to remedy. And in another development, still from the world of sports, former Wolves boss Nuno takes over at Tottenham. Tottenham's search for a new head coach is finally over after Nuno's Espirito Santo was appointed as Jose Mourinho's successor. Ryan Mason filled in as caretaker boss following Mourinho's sacking in April, steering the club through to the end of the 2020-2021 season. And former Spurs manager Mauricio Pochettino was linked with a sensational return, while Antonio Conte and Paulo Fonseca and Gennaro Gattuso were all rumored to be on the verge of filling the vacancy at different stages in the process. And however, the London club has insisted turns to Nuno after his fourth-year spell with Wolves came to an end in May. And the 47-year-old Portuguese has signed a deal until 2023 with Tottenham, where he would work alongside with the new director of football, Fabio Paratici. And Nuno earned a promotion to the top flight in the first season in charge of Wolves, then followed the achievements with successive 7th-place finishes in the top tier. And Nuno starts his new role amid uncertainty over the future of England captain Harry Kane, with Manchester City reportedly bidding £100 million for the prolific striker. And that's the size of the news for us today on Celebration Television News Desk. If you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. Senate amends Firearms Act. Illegal arms importers risk £1 million fine. Zuma Foundation condemns angry court for jail term. China won't be bullied, says Xi on the 100th anniversary. And the federal government has ordered payment of outstanding arrears, says the PENCOM. And on sports, Sancho set for Manchester United as the Red Devils agree fee with Dortmund. And today on our photo of the day, we can see these pictures of people who are being hurt by the same people who they try to help. And it just tells us one thing, that be careful who you help. Be careful who you help. Make sure that the person you are helping is someone who can stand with you as well. And share your thoughts with us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, it is at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, it is Celebration TV. And don't forget that the positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself in, or the organization you work in, defines your leadership mind. and also as an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed back his ways to success. And be it known today that everything we do, that we think, we feel, and believe either have a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. So do everything to be a part of nation building today. Thank you for watching the news on Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squatter. Happy New Month.
To 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.